All right, so now our project is in a very good shape right now that we can add a new task like this. And we see when you add a task, of course, it comes over here. And when I just go on my server, I see that this task is added. And I can even delete these tasks. So I delete the task and I go to the server and you see that the server is updating. So it's doing wonderful things. So why not if we make some reasonable, understandable tasks? So let's say appointment and March 23, 2025, reminder, yes, add task. And then we will add one more. Jim, April 1, 2025, whatever, no reminder, add task. Why does our form gets closed? It should not get closed. It should be there. Why it is getting closed? Anyhow, we'll just see that. Form should remain open. Anyhow, so we have two tasks over here. And now what we want to do, the third part. Now we want to, you see that our task is showing over there. If I just go there, I'll show you. The appointment task has a reminder of true. Do you guys see that? And here, the gym task has a reminder of false, and it shows over here. But if I change the reminder here, if I double click on this one, I made it false and made it true. But is it updated on the server? No, because we have not done that. So now what we need to do? We need to make another request. Remember, we have talked about two requests till now. Get and delete, rather three, and post. What get does? Read the data. What post does? Post the new record, new data. And what put does? So we'll talk about now put, and we have talked about the delete as well. So now just come here in the toggle to reminder, task toggle to reminder. Now here I'll tell you something very interesting. You remember we had created a function called fetch tasks that was separated. We just separated that from the rest of thing. Remember? Or what is that? Where is that fetch tasks? Oh, we created that in use effect, but no problem. I want to create another function over here. See here. And I will call it fetch tasks. Sorry. Fetch task to bring one task from the server. I'm just creating a method over server, right? So now let's create fetch task equal to, it will take an ID. And of course, it will be an async function because it will bring the data. So let's say what it will do. So this fetch task will do what? It will just say await and take the ID and fetch that from that 7,000 and data is equal to this and return data. Just bring one task and return that one. Make sense, everyone? I've created one function fetch task that will just go to the server and bring one task for me. It will be quite beneficial. You will see that. So remember, we have a function const fetch task. Now, in the toggle reminder, first thing I will do is I will say const task to toggle. Which task I want to toggle equal to. For that, I will make use of this function that I've just created. I'll pass this ID and I'll say to it that bring that task for me. Does that not fetch? Sorry, fetch task. Right here, the method that I've created. I say just bring one task. But do you know that when it will bring, again, it will have to do what? Await. And if I had to do await, I have to do the async as well over here. Look at that. Bring one task. Now, const updated task is equal to do what? Spread out the task to toggle. Task to toggle, right? And go to the reminder and convert it, whatever is in the task to toggle reminder, to that one. Are you guys getting that one? I've created a next updated task that has a new reminder. And that reminder is what I have done is I have just converted that from my previous task to this one. Yes. The fetch task? Yeah, sure. Here it is. Yes, Ian. Done? Now, yes, look at that. I have done what? On the toggle task, I have updated task. And now I just need to do one thing over here because I want to just do that updated task. So I have that. I will make now the put request to my server. And that put request will be originally that request that will make it happen. So I'll just come here, see here. I'll say const response is equal to await fetch backticks http /localhost :7000 /tasks/. Now see here, I have to just bring that particular ID, right? So I'll say $ID. And now here, I want to use method put. Make sense, everyone? I want to put that because I want to change the data. And I would need to send headers as well. Headers. And remember, content type is equal to application.json. And what will be the body? Body will be updated task stringified. Make sense? Stringified updated task. Now I don't need to change anything else because this is all this should be changed accordingly. Now let's look at that. Let's go to the project and let's double click on this one. Appointment has not true reminder. If I come here and if I click on that, so it is going the reverse. Have I done the reverse, right? So where do I need to change? Is it I need to change it over here? Reminder, it should be opposite to task to toggle reminder. That should be fine. Let's see why it is going the reverse. You see that if I refresh that, it refreshed, both of them are false. If I just come here, both of them are false. Double click. Oh, this is right. This is working right? I was wrong. So see that it's make true. And if I come here, I double click on this gym. Gym should also have a true. Look at that, refresh and true, right? It was right. I was just, and now if I come and make it false, look at that. If I come here and refresh, look at that, false. Are you guys getting that one? So the task gets updated with our reminder. Is this okay with everyone? So now it is doing some wonderful stuff. I can remove the task from here. I can change its reminder. And if I just refresh server, you see that both of these are changed. The reminder has been set to true and the task has been removed from here. right? Okay, so let me just now look at, we'll just continue with this project. There are lots of interesting things that we have to do, but I just wanted to see this week's contents. Let me just look at that. If there is anything that I need to discuss other than that, I'll just see that. This one of these are the official slides. I'll just have a look at that one. React state and props, and we have talked about this state and props, a lot, and we have just implemented that as well. But let's say managing state and component props. So we talked about this managing state, introduction to state in React. We have talked about that. What is the state? State built in React object that allows component to hold and manage the dynamic data. State changes trigger re-rendering of the component. This is very important. Just remember that every state change re-renders the component. It gives a re-rendering to the component. That's important. Why is state important? Enables interactivity in React state, React apps, and reflects dynamic changes in UI. So basics. Remember, we have talked about this use state. So I'm just showing you these slides for this one, and we have just talked about that one. State as a component's memory, state persists across renders. When we render that, remember the value is always kept with that one. It will always keep the value. So quick state, batching state updates, recent batch of multiple updates in event handlers or performance. And if we have multiple them, they will be done in the patch, and they will, in the batch, and they will just, change with respect to that one, and we can change that one. Functional updates, we have set count or the set method with every variable, and we can just use that one to make the changes over there. Remember, updating states and arrays, we have talked about that. Immutable updates do not modify the original array. Always create a new array object, instead modifying existing state directly. So remember, we talked about in array, our element gets updated. We don't want that one. We want just basically previous state to just maintain. So remember, I told you the previous state stuff. So updating objects and updating a property, which I told you that if you want to change the one property, remember name, and if you want to just change one property, it will just, do that one. Common patterns for state management: controlled component, derived state, and conditional rendering. Remember conditional rendering, add, and we did that with invisible, visible. Remember? Keep state updates immutable, create a copy of an error object, and functional updates depend upon the states. So component props, we have talked about the props also. Shortcut for the properties used to pass the data from one child to the other components. And its key features are immutable from child's perspective, passed as an attribute. So remember, if someone asks you an interview question, what is the difference between props and the state variables? So remember, props cannot be changed in the child component. Are you guys getting one thing? But state can be changed from the child component, and that is what we are doing in the project, right? So props cannot be changed; they are immutable in your child components. When you pass them to the child components, you will never be able to just change them from the component. But props can be changed. So passing props to a component, passing name as greetings to that one, and we have just talked about that one. I just wanted to say a little exercise that they will just callback function as props, and we have just done that one as well. Sharing between the components, and I just want to share the exercise if they have. It's not here. It will be week 11 lab. So let's talk about this lab, and I would like all of you to just do that. Now, all of you can please download this. I'll share that with you. I'm sharing it, and I'll share that on your course shell as well. But right now, I'm sharing that on the team. Can you just do this practice? This will be a good practice for today. We will be working in our project, by the way. We'll continue working on that. But I'll just share it over here. And I want everyone to just do that. I'm here, and if you need help, I'll be able to just help you out here. So can you just download this week 11 lab from the Teams? So you will build a fully functional to-do list app using React. This hands-on project will help you understand how to manage state with the use state who can pass data between components and props. Mastering these concepts is crucial to building React applications. So you see that. Create your React app, open your terminal, create a new React app, and name it like React to-do list or whatever. Open your project in VS Code or whatever, run the server, and then this should be the architecture. It's more like your assignment and everything. I would like you to just do that one right now. Everyone, please just go ahead and try that out. And try to carefully look at the requirements as well. Sorry, on the Teams? Oh, maybe again, I've done a foolish mistake of sharing it somewhere else. Let me see that. This is section 2. Yeah, I've shared that. You see that? Oh my God. So I think it looks like that. Is it there now, document? On the Teams? Please use that week 11, right? And I want everyone to just please follow along because it's a props and that practice. We have in the project, we have reached to some useful stuff, but I would like you to just do that. You have to attempt that. I'll just check this right now. It's more than a submission. I would see, after a few months how you have gone about the application, right?